Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, C2 girls? I hope you all are fine. Let's start our lesson. Girls, today we will discuss section number 13, Relations in the Contemporary World. Girls, there are very few Muslim countries today that keep entirely to the ideals of the Muslim state set up by the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. However, for those countries that have a large Muslim population and leaders, the following guidelines can be set which should affect their behavior with other states. So, both Muslim and non Muslim countries. First of all, we will discuss the relationship and the relations with Muslim countries. All Muslims, wherever they live, are one community and form one brotherhood. Although separated from each other by geographical boundaries, Muslims are bound by ties of Islam, which has established fraternity and solidarity among the Muslims and has abolished distinctions of color, race, language, status, or nationality, etc. So, this concept makes all Muslims equal in rights and obligations. A Muslim country should extend help in all fields of life and should live in peace and resolve its differences with other Muslim states through negotiations or thought at arbitration. If there is a war of dispute between two Muslim countries, it is the duty of other Muslim countries to arrange reconciliation and peace between the two. But if the aggressor is not ready to reconcile, the other Muslim countries should help the wronged party and until the oppressor is face to make. The Holy Quran says, if two parties among the believers fall into a quarrel, make ye peace between them. But if one of them transgresses beyond bounds against the other, then fight ye all against the one that transgresses until it complies with the command of Allah. But if it compiles, then make peace between them with justice. Chapter number 49, verse number 9. And also the believers are but a single brotherhood, so make peace and reconciliation between your two brothers. Chapter number 49 and verse number 10. Relations with non-Muslims. Relation with non-Muslim countries between an Islamic state and the non-Muslims allied state would be governed strictly in accordance with the terms of the Treaty of Allegiance or pact concluded between them. The terms of the agreement would be fulfilled by the Islamic State under all circumstances. In cases of pledge or protection of security from foreign interference or invasion, the Muslim state will fully stand by it and protect them from their enemies to the best of its ability. If at any time it cannot guarantee its protection, it will return its defense tax jizya. As Khalid bin Walid anhu did when could not protect the Christians of Emesa from the attack of the Roman emperor. When returning their jizya, Khalid bin Walid anhu said, we accepted the jizya as a token of your goodwill and in return from defending you, but in this we have failed you. Islam enjoins justice and fairness in human dealings. The Islamic State would base its relations with non-Muslim countries of the values of justice and equality. One of the fundamental principles of the foreign policy of an Islamic state is to abide by its international commitments. The Holy Quran enjoins the Islamic State to honor its pledges even with the enemy states and to not to be the first one of break a pledge made with them. Islam also instructs its followers to help and liberate the oppressed and persecuted Muslims living in non-Muslim countries. However, help can only be given to those persecuted Muslims who are living in such countries with whom the Islamic State has no alliance or treaty to peace and friendship. But its a treaty exists between the Islamic State and non-Muslim country which is oppressing its Muslim minority. Then the Islamic State is not permitted to help the oppressed people. In this case, the Islamic countries should persuade the non Muslim country to treat its Muslim citizens kindly. But if the non Muslim country doesn't give up its oppression, and the Islamic State can break the treaty in favor of the oppressed Muslims. Whenever decisions have to be taken, the principles of Islam should be more important than pressures exerted by other states.